what's happening, ladies and gentlemen? What's going on? Welcome to the New York session. It's been a while since we've done a nice little stream. What's going on, guys? I hope everyone is doing well. Mad love from Perth. What's happening? Show you the boomer. Don't worry, you'll probably get that experience in this stream today. So, what's happening, ladies and gentlemen? We're back from the weekend. It's Tuesday. It's time to get the party started in the sense when the hunt begins, and it's now all about what Bitcoin is going to do next. So, ladies and gentlemen, mad love and respect to everyone passing through to today's stream. As always, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursdays, we bring in the New York Open. It's just 4 minutes past 1 right now. Of course, daylight saving in the States. Everything's being moved forward and out, moved back an hour. So we're going to be talking about what to anticipate within the next few moments in the market. Now, why the next few moments? When I say few moments, I'm talking in the next half an hour before the futures market opens. New York is on its way, and we're going to break down the charts and have a look at what to expect from Bitcoin moving forward. We're also going to dive in a few altcoins as well, mark off some ranges, see what patterns could be forming, and then I'm going to love you and leave you guys because, of course, I do need to go and get my daughter. All right, because I'm going to go and get her earlier today, which is what I have been doing and spending a bit of time with her. So, mad love and respect. Be sure to like and subscribe. And you know, we've got the Traders Reality Ratio at the top right there where we're asking a few questions. Is this a trap or not? Do you guys think this is a trap? Let's find out. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a conversation. Let's roll with it. Okay then, cool. So let me just go back to the basic chart before we start talking about the madness that I've got going off in this chart right here. So look, Bitcoin today has decided to make a nice little move to the upside. Have we been expecting this move? Yes, we have. You see, the thing is, when you're dealing with uncertainty, expectation, all right, is something that's always going to be in the back of our minds. We always anticipate price to move up or down, okay? Now, when it comes to expectation, at the end of the day, we have to put the money down to understand if our expectation is going to play out or not. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And as long as you're cool with it not playing out in your favor and cutting your losses to an amount which going to keep you in the game, then happy days. You can repeat that expectation for the next time you anticipate Bitcoin to move up or down, depending on your play that you decide to roll with. So let's go back in the charts. Let's understand the range that we've come from. Let's zoom out. Again, keep zooming out and understanding our range. So Bitcoin seems to be doing pretty well with this pattern that we've got going off in the range. And I'll tell you why I keep repeating the same story about this pattern. Because we haven't broken out of it completely yet. We are still in the formation zone. All right? Now, is this move going to continue? That's the question that everyone's wondering right now. You see, what's happened with Bitcoin is they've spent a long time building at this zone. Bitcoin is stuck in sort of a 5K range as such. So we've got from here all the way down to here from that. Okay, then. So what? A $13,000 range that Bitcoin has been trading in. Not that much considering. Okay. That based on a normal day when it's pumping, it can move like 10K in one move. All right. So that's what we really need to focus on. We need to understand where we're trading from so that we can work out how likely is Bitcoin going to continue up. Now, in relation to the cycles, ladies and gentlemen, we always have to do this in the charts. It might be a tedious exercise, but I don't know anyone that's got a problem with doing the same thing over and over again with the idea of making money behind it. That's the whole point of trading, is to repeat an exercise that has a high enough edge to give you a high probability outcome of you succeeding in the trade. Okay? So we start with the M formation that appeared up here. Happy days. We've seen the levels. We've got level 1 drop. Whoops. Let me just take that back. Let me start that again. There's your boomer moment, ladies and gentlemen. Please verify that in the TR ratio in the poll at the top. So here we go. We've got level 1 here, happy days. We've got a level 2, happy days. Now we've got level 3. Each level is established by the way they break the previous consolidation point. As you can see right here, bounces up from there, comes back down, breaks away from it. Bounces from this point, comes back up, breaks down from it. Now we've got the level 3 setup. So we are just waiting now for Bitcoin to trade higher. What zones in the chart are we expecting Bitcoin to find resistance at? Which is going to prove if this move is going to be a continuation to the upside, or if it's just going to be another one of the tricks by the Mr. Market Maker to set up traps. Okay, so here we go. Let's roll out and get rid of this, and let's understand where we are. Okay, zoom in. What do we have? We've got this point right here. We've got this zone right here. And then, of course, we've had this attempt by Mr. Market Maker in this zone. The 800 EMA, again, on the 4-hour time frame seems to be a continuous problem. Why? Because this is where they're selling from. This is where the market maker will sell at a premium. He won't buy at a premium. That's what the retail trader does. You see, for the past few hours, we've had retail traders stepping into the chart and effectively responding to the price action. They can see prices rising, so happy days, we're going to get involved and start buying Bitcoin with the anticipation of it to move to the upside. All right? We need to see Bitcoin break above the 800 EMA. That is what is important. That's going to prove if this move is going to continue higher, which will then release Bitcoin to come up towards these points in the chart right here. The 50k zone is a point in the chart that I'm anticipating Bitcoin to try and get to if it can break above the 800 EMA. And even if it does break above the 800 EMA, then we still have this area here that we really want to see Bitcoin move from. Because the market maker in principle has been defending this area very well. Why? Because he's been building his shorts in this zone. So we are now approaching a point in the chart which we could see as a resistance. And if we can see price move up to that point and the 50 EMA is somewhat close towards it, we can then assume price will come back up above this point, retrace back into the 50, and the intention will be sealed, and then we would see the pattern coming into play from this range. Okay, as long as Bitcoin can break the 800 EMA, because that is where everything always pulls back from. Given this move to the downside by Bitcoin, they did it last time up here, this will be the second time, and now is this going to be the third zone or the third attempt by Mr. Market Maker to try and trap traders into the belief that price is going higher, when really he's setting up his positions to go against the retail trader? Okay, now normally I would pull up the high block, normally I would pull up Kingfisher to look at the liquidation points, but we understand where the liquidation points usually are placed. For every green vector candle you see in the chart, you're going to be seeing the 100x traders placing their stops right here. Okay, below that green vector candle, you probably see the 50x traders placing their stops right here. And then you've got the 25x traders all the way down here. The question is Bitcoin going to come down, or is the market maker going to reverse price back into these zones, tap the liquidity and move up? Or is he going to actually come into this zone deeper, take the liquidity from this range, and then try and come back up, retrace again, build another pattern and shift out? Because you can see Bitcoin has got an influx of patterns in this zone. You've got yourself a W formation right here. W, up. Then you've got another one. Nice little W right there. Up it goes. And then you've got this final one here, which is a very small W, rises up. Okay? So that's what's interesting about these patterns that we're seeing in the charts. And we've got to try and make sense of the intention by the market. Now, of course, let's understand what's going on around the markets themselves, around Wall Street, around the world, to understand trader sentiment on the chance that Bitcoin is going to continue this move. Because New York tends to have this habit of, you know, reversing every time we see a nice move to the upside. Okay? What about the move today? Not as fast as the previous, right? Fast move equals the false move. Remember, Jasper, when we see fast moves appearing, we can already establish, okay, that they have this habit of moving up and then coming back down again. Just look at the profile. We're just seeing it all the time. Now, all we're waiting for, ladies and gentlemen, is we're waiting for the market in principle to come away from this narrative of building like this and make its way out of the range. We need to see strong vector candles pushing away from this point. We need to see that. And the only reason we need to see it is because then it will verify if Bitcoin's going to come out of this accumulation phase. Just look at the attempts to the downside. All right? where the market has every chance to break down lower, they haven't done. Yeah? Now, if we just look at the way the structure is right now, because this is important, guys. If you don't know where you're trading in, okay, how are you going to understand where it's likely to go? We need to pay massive interest into the environment of what's going on. Bitcoin is in a 13K range. That's fine, okay? Behind every attempt up is followed by a drop back down. And they can do this, guys, for as long as they want. There is no stopping them from doing this for the next 2 weeks. And we're going to have pretty boring streams if Bitcoin's going to be doing this, which is then going to make me want to start looking into day trading scalps and talking about that. And at least that way we're going to see a lot of activity, which will bring me into the smaller time frame plays right now. Looking at Bitcoin, you can see that we've got ourselves a nice little W formation that we saw here. Here's a nice little pattern. One right there. And we anticipated that price would go up from this point. I'll bring up the image for you right now and just have a quick look at that for you guys. Where are we at? Here is that image. So I shared this image over to the Patreons. Now listen, if you're considering joining the Patreon, don't do it before the end of this month because you're going to get charged twice. All right? If you do consider joining it, mad love and respect. But wait until the start of a new month because it's coming towards the end of the month now and you're going to get charged twice. So don't do it. Okay. Now, here is the W formation and we were talking about the environment in this area. We're looking at a bit about volume profile and where the point of control was in this range. And we anticipated Bitcoin to come back up on the 1 minute time frame towards the previous vector candle range. Okay. Why? Because the shorts were coming in at the low point, but volume wasn't present in the chart. In other words, it was decreasing as it was dropping. All right, so the market maker in principle was slowing things down. He didn't want to inflate price and send it down further because then he would create this mad illusion in the market that everything was going to crash. And then that would mean his longs that he built in this area were then going to have to be opened soon, well, later on, because all the retail traders that went short would have been realizing a profit. Now, if we actually look at the play itself, you can see on the 1 minute time frame that this is what had happened from that W. They came all the way back up and recovered the previous red vector candle right there. And the only way that we could verify that was by means of the volume. So here we go. Here's the volume again. Down here is the CVD. I'm just paying attention to the CVD, the delta. Just diving into a couple of new things. So let me just bring this up here so you can see the volume bars themselves. Here we go. All right then. So just look at this W formation. Now you want to really try and look at this, look for this sort of stuff when you're trying to scalp in smaller time frames. Okay, if you see volume on the smaller time frames, like on the hybrid system itself, look at what happened here. You've got price dropping to the downside, so we need to pay attention to volume. Look at that. Market maker is pushing price down lower with lower bouts of volume. That tells me that this could likely slow down. It's going to change. Yeah. Then we've got this dead zone right here where there's no activity. All right. Then we see another bout of activity in the market itself. So then we've got the structure of the W formation. Yeah. But then we see one pump and that happened right there. So the market maker in essence shifts out of the range, recovers the previous vector candle, but not completely. He retraces back down. Volume disappears. You always want to focus on volume disappearing on the retraces because then it's not a forced move to the downside, which could actually trigger traders to go in the narrative of where price is going. All right. You can see that price is dropping, but so is volume. So we know that the market maker in principle is not going to allow price to drop further, given that he had the chance to do so over here and he had it on higher volume, but the volume was depleting at that point. Then we wait for another big bout of volume and then you get it right there. By the presence of the green vector candles, you can see green vector above the 5 and the 13 EMA and the 50 EMA, then the next couple of candles closes directly above it. That in principle would be your signal because the momentum is stepping in, volume's coming up, and we anticipated another bout of volume to appear in the chart. So if you look left, you can see we've got another area of volume which shows it's starting to increase. Now, what have you noticed about this? It happens in threes. Yeah, you've got the first zone, the second zone, and then up here, the third zone. So they always do things in threes, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are looking to try and scalp on the smaller time frames, whether it be the 1 minute or the 5 minute, your goal in principle is to try and establish what is moving the price. Is volume going to move it, or is price moving price? In other words, is the market maker trapping traders, making them believe that price is going to the downside? Retail trader comes in and goes short. He contains the range, reduces volume, contains it, and then comes back up again. So these are the sort of things that you're looking for when you're trying to scalp this mad structure that we call trading price action. All right, especially the hybrid system. All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, man? What is going on? Sounds like I'm bullish. I am not bullish. I am not bearish. I look for movement. Okay, I am bearish in this zone because I can anticipate Bitcoin to come back down to test the last week's high. It could come back down to test the psychological high. I have no bias to direction. All right, all I care about is movement. Because we've been moving non-stop for quite some time now. We've had these big pumps up. We could naturally anticipate yet another move like this to the upside. So if we're going to work on the principle of threes, ladies and gentlemen, we can see we've got 1, we've got 2, and we could anticipate another move up to finalize the 3. Yeah? Does that mean I'm bullish? So does that mean from 42,871, I'm bullish because I favor a move to 44k? No, not really. Bullish means that at 42k, I believe Bitcoin's going to go to 70k. That's bullish because I'm fixed with the narrative that I think it's going higher. Okay, I'm not interested in what else it can do. I only care about it going higher. That's sort of bullish. But for me, when we're using the hybrid system, we want to try and take advantage of both narratives. Now, that also sets you up for failure at the same time. Why? Because if you can see price action is showing favor to move higher, when it comes to retraces, you've got to be careful that you're not retracing into the narrative. Okay? In other words, this is a peak formation by Bitcoin. It's a midterm peak formation in the principle that this is where they started consolidating from, and now they've shifted away from that range. So in principle, we are waiting for it to lock this zone. We are waiting for price action to lock the intention of what they tried to do at this point right here, which would then lead to a level 1 rise and a continuation up. All right. Now, if I'm looking for shorts, I'm trading into the peak formation. I'm trading into what the market maker had originally wanted to achieve, and that was move price higher. So I could get stopped out. I have to be careful. And I say this to all traders that see price make a big move to the upside and then try and capitalize on the shorts to the downside. Be very cautious when you're doing that. Make all your decisions. If you're going to trade against the narrative of what's going on, make sure you do it on the smallest time frame. Okay, that works for you. For example, look at the 1 minute time frame. You see price do this big move to the upside and retrace sharply into the 50. Okay, naturally it does continue back down because we like to use the 200 EMA on the smaller time frames as opposed to the 50, because the 50 EMA on the 1 minute time frame in principle is the 13 EMA on the 5 minute time frame. So you've got to really be cautious with that. Look at what happened here. If you had have gone short from this area here, you would have seen only a few moments into the 50 and then it would have reversed back into you. So you've got to be very careful. Again, look at this. Trading into the green vector candle, anticipating price to come back down to it. Well, you wouldn't have anticipated it to come down so sharply, so you would have been trying to catch the short. If you had gone short from here, you would have caught the 50, you would have been stopped out. And when you factor in fees and costs of trading on certain platforms, it's going to be a little bit of a problem for you trying to realize a return, having to get out so soon. Okay? So again, if you're trying to scalp smaller time frames, all you're looking for is consolidation. You're looking for these periods in the chart, right? Where you can start to develop structure. All right. We'll go and have a look at some altcoins just to try it, just to show this to you. All right. Let me just pull up any altcoin and try and understand and make sense of it. Here we go. So what have we got here? By principle, the narrative says that money's coming into crypto right now. How do we know this? Well, look, let's just go to the total market cap and look at where the altcoins are. You can see the altcoins right now are all, or majority of, are forming W formations in and around the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA on the 1 minute time frame. So my goal now is to go and find the altcoins that are following that narrative. All right. So let me just flip this over. Let me change the chart and add another screen aspect to it. And now I'm looking to replicate this sort of behavior right here. So here we go. Let's pull up CTSI. What have we got here? This is CTSI on the 50-minute time frame. I'm looking at it on the 1 minute time frame. Here we go. Zoom out. What have we got here? Seems like we have got a trending coin right here. So it's moving up anyway, as you can see. So it's sort of following the narrative of the overall altcoin market. All right. Not too keen on this one because it is trading higher. So we could see a few retraces given that it's coming away from a pattern which was all the way down here. Can you see that? And look at all how they've been behaving. Let's look for another coin. DOT. Okay, so DOT right now seems to be doing that. You can see it's forming a W formation, yet it's not actually doing much and trying to shift out. So I'm not really seeing it follow through. So I'm going to dismiss DOT. It might even bounce from this point and come back up into this previous zone right here. I'm talking in terms of scalping, ladies and gentlemen. All right. EGLD, can never get it. Here we go. This is a perfect example. Replicating in principle the crypto market cap for the altcoins. So we can understand that the majority are doing this behavior. So as much as it's not clean cut like the actual market cap itself, you can see now it's starting to shift out. Happy days. Potentially looking to see price come back into these previous imbalances. That'll be a good little move. SXP, not trading that too well. Chromia. What's going on? ACXUSDT. This is the beast since 16 weeks. Not a lot of volume. Need your thoughts. No worries, Mazel Vape. Okay. AXC. Give me a second. I'll look at that right now just to make life easier for us. AXCUSDT. What have we got on Qcoin? Not a lot of volume there, bro. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Wow, this is quite. Oh man, what is going on there? Wow, bro, you're trading this coin. Man, you'll be having heart attacks on every move, bro. Man. Please stay away from that coin, man. I mean, if it's got a great utility, happy days, but please be careful. Render token. Pulling back from a sharp move. Okay, so that pretty much explains what's going on here. So this is sort of following what CTSI is doing as well. I need to keep on going into certain other coins. Wait there. I know I've got better coins than this. Let me go to the big three. Let me look at Phantom. Phantom. Okay, look at this. Phantom has already completed a W formation. It's come up. Now it's retraced back down. By principle, we would expect it to formulate a level 1 rise from this zone as long as it can stay in this area. All right. But we've got a green vector zone right there. So they could actually bring it down. So be cautious with that. Remember, look, the altcoin market is overall sat at the 50 EMA. All right. Now, this is on the 1 minute time frame, ladies and gentlemen. OK, when you want to look at the higher time frames, you're going to get a different perspective. OK, because you're looking for volatility from on the smaller time frames, whereas on the higher time frames, you're waiting to see an establishment of intention to move higher. As you can see, we have got, if we expand this out right now on the altcoins, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get what looks like 2 level rises on the altcoins. Look at this. You've got the W formation that has formed down here. You've got rise up level 1. This is a perfect example of a level 1 rise. Get into the practice of doing this. Square off your levels. Take the highest point, take the lowest point. Okay, and understand what's going on in here. There's a reason why the levels are so important, because this represents so much behind the intention to move out. You know, so you like in terms of like volume profile in this area here, we could assume that there could be a point of control in this zone. So let's just take the volume from there. Actually, let's take it from here all the way up to the current price. We could assume there it is. Volume point of control. This is where most of the activity happens. So if you're establishing a level, ladies and gentlemen, the best way for you to utilize volume profile is to understand how it behaves in terms of the movement. So it's going up and down, up and down. This is the point of control for this move from here all the way to the current price point. Okay, that just helps you understand how to profile a level. Then when we go into the next part of it, we can then say, all right, where's the point of control from that zone? So then you take the drawing again and do it again and again and again until you get to a point where you can establish a clean level. So when you see price forming this level like behavior, until price breaks above this zone right here and then breaks this area. So we are waiting for it to break out to this high to finalize a level 3 move to the upside. We've had level 1. This is level 2. Now we're waiting for a level 3 move to the upside. Now this is for the market cap for the crypto coins themselves, the altcoins. All right. So overall, we know that there are altcoins right now preparing to make a level 3 rise to the upside. That's how we can base the decision on which altcoins we are likely to try and take advantage of. Does that make sense? Yeah, where are we at with my boomer moments? Not many people are interested in boomer moments. That's fair. 1,068 of you have voted, but only 323 of you have liked the stream. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to the stream, be sure to like and subscribe so that you can catch up with us every time we do go live and initiate the open for New York. I also do videos in the morning to welcome the London session. Okay, so just so you don't miss out on that. And I try and keep these lives as well within a 30 to 40 minute window, so it's easy for you guys to watch back. But the takeaway from each of these lives is this, guys. When I go live again in the evening, you've got the session today, which acts as the before, and then you have the evening as the after for you to cross-reference the basis of the concept of the hybrid system in real time. Okay, because we all don't have the luxury of sitting at the charts all day, every day. So at least within 80 minutes, all right, that's 2 40-minute streams that I do, one now and then one in the evening, you can establish how to learn how to utilize the hybrid system. Now, if you are new, the pin to the chat is the website to the Traders Reality platform, all right, which gives you access to download these indicators free of charge. They don't cost you a penny. And the contributions by so many people in the channel that have made it so it can be easily accessible. Mad love and respect to you guys for doing so. Okay, so we know where we start with the actual altcoins themselves. So we know what structure to look for. So whatever altcoin you pull up, okay, it was probably likely to follow this structure. And of course, aim for altcoins that have got high volume traded, not lightly traded altcoins. You want stronger coins. All right, so let's look at Luna. What's Luna doing? Luna seems to be forming. Okay, so Luna's actually struggling because look, from the W formation here, you've seen it's come up, it's retraced back down into that range. Okay. So we are in principle waiting for a potential new W formation. So I may not be looking at Luna. All right, let's look at Gala. Gala's got some promise. Look what we've got here. We've got this variation of the W formation. We've got the rise up. We've got a level 1. And now we're anticipating a rise level 2 to the upside. Okay. It just so happens that Gala, just because on the crypto market cap, it's showing that most altcoins are favoring another rise to the upside. Just because Gala's just showing the W formation here and only shown a level 1 retrace ready to break out, doesn't mean that it's not going to follow. It just so happens that they spent more time accumulating in this range. Now they're getting ready to prepare a move to the upside to test the previous pools of liquidity trapped at the upside of the chart over here on the left. All right. Whilst all this is happening in crypto and we're like, yeah, baby, Bitcoin moving to the upside and what have you, we need to understand what's going on across the board. So the S&P 500 gapped up. That's good news for the S&P 500. The fact that it's gapped up, problem is they may fill the gap, but it all depends on the strength of this move. Looks like a little potential W formation coming into play in the S&P 500, but we're going to wait and see if they're going to retrace this gap. But they usually tend to follow through with it for a bit of the session and then try and come back down to close into it. Looking at the market cap chart itself for the USDT dominance, if you guys recall quite some time ago, well, only last week, I believe it was. We've marked off our ranges of where the USDT chart was likely to end up, and they've come and hit that previous green vector candle right there. So that tells us people are taking their money out of the USDT and putting it into coin, which is explained by why Bitcoin and Ethereum and all the other gangs are moving up. Let's have a look at the treasury yields. Risk is on, ladies and gentlemen, 2.362%. to effectively put your money in the government. All right, that's the rate of return. Okay, so you put $1 million there, you're going to see a nice little return on a day-to-day basis. However, this movement to the upside, of course, is stipulated by the FOMC. And I said to you guys before, take a look at when the FOMC releases a statement, and unless it's something that they've been anticipating and they're excited to hear about, there's usually a repercussion of that. So FOMC, they increase the interest rate, happy days, there is the result of that. That now means that traders are now favoring risk. The Fed's probably trying to do something about inflation. That means they're trying to restore the economy, help it out, happy days. We're seeing price move in the government yields, which tells us that smart money in principle is starting to make its way into riskier assets. Look at this madness. Dollar yen. It ain't stopping, ladies and gentlemen. But one thing that I'm concerned about is gold. Gold usually likes to establish a clean move when traders are favoring risk. That means they're getting their money out of gold. Gold looks like she's formulating a big W formation play. And it's quite concerning because we have certain points in the chart that they are likely to come back to. Now, that all depends on what could actually happen this week, which could instigate a potential move by gold to the upside. Okay, so let's check this out. In the calendar this week, we have got, of course, the Fed. Mr. Powell's going to speak later on. So at 4:30 UK time. So in less than 3.5 hours time as such, or 3 hours time. So we need to be careful of that, ladies and gentlemen. Be extremely careful. If you have made any profit on Bitcoin's move to the upside from this move up, I would highly recommend that you be cautious about your positions, because Powell could say something which could trigger profit taking in and around across the board. So that means that anyone that's trading in crypto could actually think, you know what, forget it, I'm going to take some profit out. So price then returns back into the green vector candles. Always remember, guys, if it's close by, there's a good chance that they're likely to try and recover to those points. So be cautious. All right. We've also got, again, he's having another conversation on Wednesday. We also have some quite big news plays in the UK, which can have an effect on the US dollar. All right. And then, of course, we've got in this week nothing more other than durable goods orders. It's pretty much a quiet week other than when Powell's speaking. Sorry, I'm synthetic. I'm glitching out, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on with me today? But other than that, real news plays, okay, are not happening in the US dollar other than Powell having a conversation, okay? So I would say we're having a bit of a quiet week across the board in relation to news announcements, which could mean that we could see upside potential for Bitcoin, which leads me on to another thing. Let's have a look at what the story is with the book map, okay? Powell spoke yesterday. Where are my days? What day is it today? Today's Tuesday, isn't it? No, that's Monday. What day? Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got your first boomer moment. Well done. That was done. Well, forgive me. There it is. Today's Tuesday, not Wednesday. Today? No, tomorrow. Powell will speak. Yeah, I'm glitched out, ladies and gentlemen. I'm all over the spot. I am all over the place. What is going on with me today? There you have it. One of your nice little boomer moments. Well, like I said to you before, boomer moments. Yeah, I was born in 85. All right. But just because I was born in 85, okay, it doesn't make me a boomer, but there's nothing wrong in behaving like one. Not on purpose, of course, but by accident. You know how it is. Try and keep it all sincere. All right, then, so here we go. Where's the liquidity at for Bitcoin? 45K shows 348 Bitcoin stacked to the upside. Okay? 348. That is interesting. Can you see how orders are starting to come in? Can you see that? Yeah? It's crazy, isn't it? 186 Bitcoin at 44K. And they're working this area here. Now, if we zoom in just a little bit more, 186 at 44K. Now, look, this is, in principle, an individual trader. Now, that individual trader is either going to be an algorithm, institutional fund, or it could actually be the likes of Steve with a lot of money trying to get filled at these points. Okay? So earlier they had assumed that price was going to continue higher, all right, from the pump to the upside. They didn't get it filled, so they cancelled the order. So what we're looking for now is, are these orders now going to come back in? So we know that that order's back in, but what about the interest up here and the interest here? Is it possible that this area is now this area? Who knows? We will never know who that is, but all we can do is base it on the actual liquidity that is shown in the chart. The darker the liquidity, the more money there is behind the order. So for example, there's 200 Bitcoin in that zone. How much of it is made up of retail traders against institutional traders? Yeah. So this is what we're looking for. Let me zoom in a little bit more to understand the profile of what's going on. Here we got quite a few segments right here that we're likely to see price coming up towards. The bubbles themselves imply delta. All right. And usually with the delta, when you see the delta being red and negative, to the way I translate that, it's the market maker going long. Why? Because he's hitting the sells. The sells are being, the buyers are absorbing the sells. Remember that. You've got the bid and you've got the ask. All right. The bid is the green. The ask is the sell. Okay. Now, when you see them hitting the asking price, all right, that means that price is rising. It means that people are being sold to by nature of purchases. In other words, when price is rising, it can only rise if someone is buying. All right. And you can only be buying if someone is there selling to you. That's the nature of the bid and the ask. Now, when I see these red bubbles here, it shows me that the market maker is hitting price to the bids and he's buying up everything off the guys who are selling. Sounds confusing, but it's so important that you understand the relationship between the bid and the ask, understanding the importance of when someone buys, someone has to sell. And by understanding that, you're going to get a clear indication as to where price is likely to continue from based on the interest of sellers hitting the bids and the ask, or the buyers hitting the bids and the ask. Okay? Sorry if that sounds confusing, but do a little bit of work on ask and bid, and that's going to help you understand the nature of why price is likely to move from one point to the next. Okay? Works a lot with point of control and volume profile, because you want to understand where is there more of something happening in a chosen zone. Does that make sense? Yeah? I saw that comment, Mike. Yeah, Tino does age in dog years. I agree with you. I do agree with you. Some days I just literally behave like an old man. I just can't be bothered with it. I just want to sit down with my cup of coffee and utilize my inhaler in the surroundings of Mother Nature. Happy days. Here we go. Let me have a look at this. How does delta move positive or negative if market equilibrium dictates every buy must have a seller? What you're forgetting to mention is what is there more of? Yeah? What is there more of? Is there more buyers or is there more sellers? Because naturally, the market itself, big players can't move the market in one move. They can't do it because they will break the market. They have millions and millions of dollars to move into the marketplace, and they can only do it in segments. All right? The market maker facilitates those segments. All right? If he knows Goldman Sachs wants to dump $500 million into gold, all right, he's not going to just be the market maker that provides that opportunity. No, what he's going to do is he's going to drip it into the marketplace. So then by the time they have factored in the move to the upside, you would have seen gold's price dropping. And then when it moves to the upside, when everyone's going in buying gold, it's them selling the positions of Goldman Sachs back into them. That's how it works. When they hit the bids, when they hit the ask, there is the inverse relationship happening in the direction of the move, if you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, it's quite confusing. I'm going to do a video on it just to help you guys understand it. But from the simplest way of seeing things, guys, understand that when the market is rising, it means the market maker is going short because he is selling into the retail traders who are buying. He's selling those contracts. He's selling that liquidity to them, because where's the liquidity going to come from if you as a retail trader are going to close at a profit? It's got to come from something. That's where the equilibrium comes in trading, where one man's fun is another's hell, or in mathematical terms, zero-sum game. That's what has to happen. Someone has to lose money in order for someone else has to make money. Because if no one is losing money, people are only making money, then that sort of breaks the equilibrium. Because how can someone make money if no one is losing money? We can't all be making money at the same time, because then there won't be any money for us to make if we're all making it. If you know what I'm saying? If price can only go up, then if there's no one selling, then that means we can't close our position. So we're in a long favoring the moon outside of the universe, but we can't close it. So we have a pointless contract. We have a pointless trade. Does that make sense? Yeah? Now, let's have a look at AVAX. Let's have a look at AVAX. Here we go. What do we need to know about AVAX? All right, look. Where's it coming from? Yeah? Do the profile from the altcoins. Where's the pattern? Where's the structure? Now, of course, this is a bigger structure right now, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? We're looking for maybe shorter term intraday trades. Okay? So we base it from following. Small W formation down here. Rise up level 1. Rise up level 2. Now we've also got an M formation here, multi-session M, which could actually complicate things. Now, if we're going to see a break above to the upside, all you need to do, ladies and gentlemen, is mark off the zone clearly in the chart so you understand that when it breaks out of that range, you know that you're working towards a rise level 2 to the upside. Here is your level 1 play potentially. There is a clean break. Up it goes, retraces, stays within the peak itself. Come away from that range. Now, you're going to look at this and say, hold on a second, I'm going to place an order when it breaks this zone here, or I'm going to place an order when it breaks this zone here. Be careful. Why? Because this is what range traders do. Now, range traders take the current range that it's trading within. What you've got to factor in is, where are we in the cycle? If everything is moving up, all right, and everything is basing to move higher, why am I going to go short? I'm playing a bit of a gamble there. I don't want to be doing that. Okay? So I hope that makes sense to you, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that makes sense. All right then, listen. It's now 1:45, ladies and gentlemen. We've got ourselves Bitcoin pulling back ever so slightly, consistent with the New York reversal. New York could actually give us 2 reversal points, ladies and gentlemen. So please be mindful of that. So mark off the Brinks box themselves. They're usually in this area here. And we could get 2 instances where US initiates a reversal to the downside and then back up again. Let's see what they do with Bitcoin. Now, usually what happens after a big move from the UK session, the New York session might look to recover that and move price down lower so that Asia gets an opportunity to do the same thing again. All right? But as always, ladies and gentlemen, I will be going live again tonight at 10 p.m, which is 9 p.m. UK time, just to bring in what happens next in the market. So be sure to like and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Mad love and respect. Again, make sure you hit us up at the Discord so you can download all the indicators free of charge. Everything is pinned to the top of the chat and you get access to all of that on the Traders Reality website. I am jabbering on. Mad love and respect. I will catch up with you guys later. It has been a pleasure. Take care of yourselves. Peace.